What is happening, everybody? Good morning from the frozen tundra of Florida. Well, it's typically very warm here in the sunny state of Florida. It is a big-time cold spell, and you see me a little bit more dressed up as I typically would be as we head into the last week of the fall swing season. And hey, these guys, the PGA Tour guys, they're not too far away from me at all up in the Sea Island, Georgia. It will be a little chillier here first thing in the morning when these guys go out to play. Maybe that'll impact their play a little bit. And I am back with another one of my short form videos, the top picks and fades for the RSM Classic. And of course, this is sponsored by Prize Picks. If you guys haven't checked out Prize Picks, well, they offer fantastic player props contests where you choose anywhere between 2 and 5 player props, put them all together, and you can win up to 10x your money. You can also use cross sports things. So you want to play the Thursday night football game and bet the under on the yards thrown by a quarterback, and say bet the under on Webb Simpson's first round score. You'll be able to do that now on Prize Picks. Make sure you use promo code Awesemo to get $100 on your first deposit. And don't forget, golf comes out on Wednesday, so they put that golf contest on there. So let's go ahead and jump right into my last week's picks and fades as we do a very, very quick review here. Okay, Harman, Nieman, and Gooch were my 3 fades. Gooch didn't play all that well. Harman ended up playing a little bit better, and Nieman missed the cut. So 3 big-time fades ended up really working out for me, but it didn't help, sadly, because I had Christian Bezuidenhout play as one of my top plays, and he missed the cut. And for some reason, I didn't play enough. Cameron Tringale, who was my best pick there, came in the top 10 last week. Patrick Reed made the cut, had an eagle or two, so he scored well in terms of the event. Ryan Palmer also made the cut, and Aaron Rye also made the cut. So I was, let's see, 4 for 5 in making the cuts and probably 3 for 3 in fades, and still couldn't turn a profitable week on myself. First one in a couple of weeks that I hadn't been profitable on. All right, let's go ahead and go into the fades this week, and I've got 3 more big names. I'm going to start off with Talor Gooch since I faded him last week. I'm going to go ahead and fade him again this week. Last week was a pretty good setup for him, but he ended up coming in at huge ownership, one of the highest owned golfers on the slate. So for me, it was an easy fade. This week, he wasn't set up as well, in my opinion, and is still coming in pretty highly owned. Maybe not as big a fade this week as it was last. The fact that he's missed the cut here last year and 23rd the year before, nothing really to write home about. Look at his strokes gain ranks last year, 132 up the tee, 35 on the approach, 53 around the green, and 80 putting. Certainly it's been better this year, and that's why he has performed well. But for Gooch, I think he is ready for a bit of an off season. Next guy I want to talk about, Adam Scott. Now, typically I don't want to fade this guy all that often, especially when his ownership is not going to be that high, but it is going to be high this week. Roughly coming in around 20%. At $9,000. He hasn't played here in the last couple of years. He didn't have a great week at the Houston Open last week. So I just don't think we need to play him. I think there are golfers that are playing better around Adam Scott, and I don't think it's a perfect setup for him. Look at his strokes gain ranks from last year, 136 off the tee, 48 on the approach, 114 around the green, and 18 putting. Certainly one of his best putting years of his career. Yet it didn't lead to a lot of results. So for Scott, maybe a little bit of a reset here after this week. And the last guy that I'm going to fade back on the fade train for me is Webb Simpson. 10,700 this weekend, 24% owned. No, thank you. I'll head down to Harris English, who's only 5% owned. And I think pretty quality, maybe even as quality of a golfer as Webb Simpson at this point in his career. Look at Webb. He's taken the last few weeks off, and we go into a strokes gain rank now. 93rd off the tee last year, 39 on the approach, 10 around the green, and 22 putting. We know Webb goes as his short game goes. All right, let's get into my 5 plays now this week. And first, I'm going to start off with Matthew NeSmith. NeSmith had a pretty good week last week before a string of bogeys moved him down to 46. But some of his best starts on the PGA Tour have come right here at this RSM Classic, coming in 15th and 14th. It's just well set up for him on this coastal track. A heavy iron player, as we look at his strokes gain ranks last year, coming in 12th on the approach, 108 on the tee, 149 around the green, and 167 putting for NeSmith. Obviously not a great putter, but this should set up well for him here again this week. Plus, the price and ownership are right. All right, next I want to talk about Brian Harman, another one of these homegrown guys here in Sea Island. 7,800 this week, and we've been talking about him. If you've watched our PGA strategy show, Eric Lundquist and I have been talking about him saying, hey, we'd like him to have kind of a bad fall, come to here, his home course, playing okay. Nobody really wants to roster him, and we're going to do it. And that's exactly what I'm sticking to here. 7,800 and 3% owned. Came in 14th here a couple of years ago. We look at his strokes gain rank, why I think he'd be good here. First, he's great on the green. We know that. 73rd off the tee, though, and when he's on the fairway, his approaches are much better. Now, 124th on the approach last year isn't great, but again, he'll find a ton of fairways this week and should be a great start. All right, now my 3 top guys I'm going to play this week. Alex Noren, he's going to start 9,500 this week and less than 10% owned. He's got great course history here, both coming in the top 20 last 2 years. See, he struggles off the tee, ranked 124th, but he's good on and around the green. So once he finds the fairway and is able to kind of tap into some of his better stats and better attributes, Noren's results go up. And as we can see here, like I said, 18th and 10th in the last 2 years. All right, next guy I want to talk about was a fade for me last week, but not going to be this week, at least not at the beginning. Joaquin Nieman, 9,700, so the price is still high. We like to play him much cheaper, but only 11% owned compared to last week's 20% owned, plus it wasn't a good course fit. Really needed around the green work, and he's ranked 136th there last year. You can see why he missed the cut, but we look at his other ranks, 14th off the tee, 41st on the approach, and 47th putting. That should be a pretty good statistical fit. So I'm going to jump back in Nieman after the missed cut, maybe get a late win from him in the fall swing. All right, the last guy I'm going to play, I know this is a big time difference for me. Typically, I'm fading Harris English, but at 5% owned, after a week where Jason Kokrak was the lowest owned golfer, over $8,500, and ended up winning the tournament, we need to keep an eye on these guys, and Harris English certainly gives us that ability. 10,100 is a hefty price, and not many people want to pay it. And that's why he's only 5% owned. We look at his strokes gain ranks for last year, 91 off the tee, 85 on the approach, 28 around the green, and 12 putting. All right, so that is going to do it. That is the fall swing, everybody. My picks and fades for the RSM Classic. One more time, Adam Scott, Talor Gooch, Webb Simpson, I will be fading this week. I will be playing Matthew NeSmith, Brian Harman, Alex Noren, Joaquin Nieman, and Harris English, among a few other people, of course. Make sure you check out Ben Raza. That's right, my buddy Ben and I are going to be back on the PGA DFS strategy show today. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so that's when you guys will have it a little later on. And of course, watch it back on playback. So thanks to Prize Picks for the sponsor. And everybody, we will see you in the new year. Have a great rest of the season and a great holiday season. Cheers, everybody.